Hello, everybody. I'm Mark, a poet with guitar from Washington, D.C. And welcome to the Poets Reacts, where we reacts to a poem. Myself and tonight four excellent poets of various styles. And we're going to see a poem that we don't know anything about and give it our shot. And I think we'll all learn a lot about poetry. And we're doing a special project in these last couple of segments in which one of us brings a favorite poem. And tonight it's going to be Marrisa.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm not just excited for the new format, but I'm excited. There's 5 hosts here tonight at TPR. Welcome Nick Paleologos to be our guest host tonight. Oh my goodness, I love it anytime you're here, my friend. So please make sure that you're using the chat. Talk to us, ask questions, anything you want to know, interact with us in the chat. We absolutely love to talk with you. And if you're doing artwork alongside Kemlyn this evening, if you want to share pictures of your artwork, we would love to champion that, share that with you, see what you guys come up with. So exciting. Lawin.
I'm back. Yes. Thanks, Nick, for being here. Lifesaver, man. But yeah, so I am Lawin. I'm from Manila, and hopefully my internet signal allows me to keep participating in this fine program. If you haven't signed up for our YouTube yet, please do. Okay, follow and subscribe. Same thing goes for Instagram, for Facebook, and do watch out for Poetry Global Network on TikTok as well, because you know what, we're gonna be all over the place. Yes. Hey, Cam.
Hello. Before I go, I'm gonna let Nick Paleologos introduce himself.
Nick Paleologos right here. It's all good. Nick Paleologos, poet, spoken word artist, cosplayer from New Jersey with a book that's going to be coming out in the winter called Ad versus Reaction. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait for y'all to get your hands on the copy. I'm a host with The Word is Right, with my mic called Poetry Night with Nick P. We just had one on Wednesday that was completely awesome and off the bonkers wall crazy. And I love poetry just as much as I love the cosplay. So, Kemlyn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kemlyn, and I'm your Singapore, Arizona connection. I am a multidisciplinary artist, and, you have to just come by and check out our open mics to figure out what the crazy stuff I do. But tonight, it is about us poet that Marrisa is bringing us. Yes. So, without further ado, send in the poem.
There you go.
I believe that Africa is starting to feel those labor pains. She is starting to feel those labor pains she once felt when her children were taken from her, to be slaves in other countries, to become gang members, to become ruthless, to become drug addicts, to become weak and defenseless, to become abusers and abused, to become a nation without a title, a nation without heritage. I've seen children of Africa lose who they truly were, and Africa starting to moan and groan in agony, a nation ripped from her womb. I felt those labor pains again when war started to break out across her. When the Zulu tribes and the different African tribes fought invaders for their land, for that was their only inheritance. They paid with their blood, for that was the only evidence that left any trace of their struggles. With spear and shield in hand, Africa. You see, my beautiful Africa was once a battlefield. She embraces her children who fought in battle, but mourns the ones ripped from her breasts, not ready to leave their mother's arms, snatched, then displayed. Come and see the savages from Africa. They made our women ashamed of their traditional attire, yet they are the ones that stole her from her mother's arms. Our exposed breasts and full-figured backside degraded by a colorless, cultureless paleface. But Africa patiently awaits the return of her children. I feel the labor pains of Africa the moment her children started to kill each other. When the Hutus started killing Tutsis, the labor pain started again, a pain no human could possibly bear. As her children shed the blood of their sisters, brothers, mothers, and children across her streets. Africa, See, Africa bleeds again, and it is by our hands, not by the hands of the ones who once enslaved us. It is by our hands, it is by our choice. We are now killing our children. I felt the labor pains of Africa at the moment. You see, the moment the children of Nigeria started to lose their lives to fight for what was right, Africa moans and groans in agony, but she will never fully release how she truly feels. I now understand why in Kenya the ground has started to separate, and there is now a rift within it. From a small crack, it is turned into continental drift, because that is how Africa truly feels. She started to finally crack from her depths and releases her pain in the worst of ways, and I am so fearful. I'm fearful for when the ground beneath my feet starts to speak.
Oh my god, I love this.
Poet right here. This freaking poet.
Seriously, goosebumps. I kid you not. I'm not even joking about this. I went goosebumps on this one. This is tremendous. Thank you, Marrisa, for sharing this with us.
I love this poet very much. She's awesome.
Yeah. But see, it also draws so much authority from the fact that it's drawn from fact, yeah, and not just fancy. And I guess that's the thing we want to be able to tell our audience also, that, and for those of you who want to write, draw from the real world, draw from the shit around you, from the stuff that's lying around, because that's where the good stuff is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, I'm always a fan. I like African poetry a lot. I mean, I like Wole Soyinka. If you know him, he was the Nobel Prize winner, the only one that won a Nobel Prize from Africa, actually, for poetry in the 20th century, and I think her performance again was really strong. I mean, she was telling me though she was telling me, and that's okay, because the type of performance that she was giving has a function. It's like a speech, but it's not a speech. You know, it had like it had the background of drumming music, which helped, you know, excite the performance as well. But I left feeling a lot, but my imagination wasn't inspired, because it's just, you know, it was historical based. Yes, the Hitsus and the Hutus and all the stuff going on both in Africa, and the different tribes fighting each other and all the rest. Yeah, I mean, and it's worth crying about and raging about. But there's a soft spot. I mean, for myself, I have my own book coming out. This one's called Reflections in the Time of Trumpius Maximus. Okay, so I took upon myself to try to take this political activity and try to make poetry out of it, not just speech or academic or propaganda or anything like that. And it's really, really hard to do that. I hope I've accomplished it. I don't think that she made poetry, but I think she made great statement, like Amanda Gorman. Okay, I mean, she went up there and she said it, and she inspired people, and that's probably, you know, the best part of it. She really did inspire people. But if I'm going to look at it from, you know, a poetic point of view, I didn't think there was much poetry there. I just think there was a good performance.
Maybe I'm less concerned about, let's say, the ingredients of what makes a poem, but I am very much in love with how we can get across to people, and I'm sure the academe will have their say and their field day on the technicals of this. But for me, the fact that this is already framed in labor pains, and therefore you know that there is a birthing and a possible miscarriage of justice or life itself, is already so much more than other stuff we have gone through on the show. For this to end at that whole point of, it was a small crack, now it's a fucking continental drift. Jesus Christ, it doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah.
So I hear you, Mark, and I know you have to bring that out, that there is a line between merely poetic and actually a poem. I get that. But for me, this moment, this segment, this poem I'm saying this crosses those lines, and I don't give a flying fuck if it's labeled one way or another, but it is powerful stuff. That's
Sure. Yeah, no. Yeah, Nick, what do you think?
I thought this poem was simply phenomenal. It was just something like it felt cerebral. Like I felt like I was like there, and just an amazing, powerful piece by this poet right over here. I have to say that was a great choice, Marrisa, what you brought aboard right here. Like that was one of the best poems I've heard in a while.
This was the single best poem I heard all year. I'm going to go out and say that because, sorry, Kemlyn hasn't had a chance.
Yeah, I haven't
But
gone yet.
Kemlyn,
Sorry.
let's see your artwork. I'm so excited. Oh my God, Kemlyn. Bring it to El Paso and I'll send it to her. I have a care package I'm sending to South Africa for her of some artwork I did for her in my book and some other things for her and her daughters. If you want, I'll send it to her. Or if you want to do a print of it, we could do a print of it and send her a print. I would love to do that.
Pleasure.
no, send it, and ask her for a video response that maybe we share on the show.
Yeah.
When this airs, I will definitely send her the link for it to watch, and I'll have her do a video response.
Yeah, you know this.
Awesome. So I want to also talk about this poem. So I'm looking at the point where she embraces her children who fought in battle, but mourns the ones ripped from her breasts.
Yes.
Not ready to leave their mother's arms, snatched then displayed. Come and see the savages from Africa. For me, that is powerful imagery of the personification of a continent, a mother who's watching her children kill each other. And she's mourning. That's hard. That hits hard. And that image haunts me because, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And to think of what has happened and how, right.
No. I think there's a lot of really good music coming out of Africa, which we're not getting enough of. I think they did a Broadway show on Fela Kuti, I remember. This guy's like, the Bob Marley of Africa. Wonderful pieces. And also Ray Lima does tremendous, beautiful lyrics and song, on African themes, about the dysphoria in Africa and how people are killing each other, over all that stuff.
That's not even what necessarily she's trying to mean here. I mean, the opening lines, which could have gotten lost in everything, the opening lines are, I believe that Africa is starting to feel those labor pains. She is starting to feel those labor pains she once felt when her children were taken from her. Yeah. And then she goes on to talk about those labor pains. She felt the labor pains again when wars started breaking out across her lands. She says, I feel the labor pains of Africa the moments her children started killing each other. For me, it struck a chord because the courts here told me I had to share my daughter with her biological father, who is dangerous. And my daughter was ripped from my arms, crying as a baby. And I think about Africa as a mother, crying for all of her children who were taken from her. And I feel like so many won't know where they came from and won't know their mother. And that void of a country, of a homeland, always waiting for their children to come home. It was so profound. And she's easily one of the most moving poets I've met this year. it is a sensational. That's why I'm like, I hope we get the video because I can't do it justice like she can. I would hope maybe one day she'll come on and she'll be a host, a guest host. But to feel the loss of a child, to not, and then to be a child and not know where you belong, not know where you come from.
Yeah.
That is a loss.
Yeah, we're doing the Bottoms Up. The Poetry Global Network is doing a Bottoms Up, which is an open kind of a mic focusing on Africa. I think the third week of next month. You can look it up, and there's going to be a lot of African poets there. And there's a great school of African poets that are emerging, too. I mean, I have a friend in Lagos, a young man who was also
Lagos.
Who was also an orphan. Who's an amazing poet. I mean, they're just coming out of the woodwork, and I'm really excited to share all that stuff.
And we have a bunch of really incredible poets at Poetry Global Network who are from Lagos, who are from Nigeria, who are from other parts of Africa that are just amazing poets.
Yeah.
But I know we're running close on time. So yes, Paul Idiake's take on this would be incredible, Lawin. I hope that all of PGN goes and watches this episode because really, Kimberly Anderson, thank you, my beautiful friend, for lending us this video and your words for tonight. I hope it carries forward. She got to perform in front of Lacan last weekend. I was very excited to be able to introduce her to a lot of us at PGN. So I hope that more things happen. And yes. So does anyone have any last follow-up comments before we wrap up tonight's show?
Yeah, I didn't want you to get me wrong. I really felt it was very inspiring, obviously. I mean, you couldn't, if you don't have a pulse, if you're not moved by this, you don't have a pulse, I mean, so I certainly thought it was extraordinarily effective.
She's just amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so make sure, please, that you like, share, subscribe, and follow to everything that we are doing at the Poetry Global Network. Please keep tuning into our show, The Poets Reacts, right here at PGN. We're everywhere that the internet is: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, soon to be TikTok. Who knows? Maybe we'll be in outer space someday. The space shuttle is just the Space Shuttle America is just right here, close, but pretty much between Kemlyn and me. We could get to Spaceport America and be booted up to the stratosphere and do poetry up there. We should look into doing that. Let's find some sponsorship for that. It's so much fun. If you did artwork with Kemlyn tonight, if you'd like to share that with us, we would love to see you. Special thank you so much to Nick Paleologos for being on our panel tonight. I do appreciate all of you spending your time with us. And remember, as we react to poems that we've never seen, read, or heard before, we hope you take action with your pen so that maybe someday we'll be reacting to your poem. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.